Did you know they can stick a big fancy needle into a tumor and heat it up real hot or freeze it to kill the cancer? I mean, not one's this big, but it's actually like a really cool technology. So let's talk about it. So I have stage 4 cancer and I like to stay up to date on the latest studies and research in kidney cancer. So I thought I'd start making videos about some of the interesting studies that I find and share them with you guys so you can learn with me. So ablations, let's talk about it. So an ablation is when you stick a really fancy needle inside of a tumor and you heat it up real hot or you freeze it to kill the cancer. They can do ablations on several different parts of the body. I've had several of them done personally in my liver. But the study I'm highlighting today is using ablations for kidney cancer, and specifically stage 1A kidney cancer, which is tumors that are still localized to the kidney, so they haven't spread anywhere else, and they're under 4 centimeters. For this stage of kidney cancer, one of the options that is available is ablations, sticking that needle in and killing the tumor. It's pretty effective in small localized kidney cancers. But is there a difference in the thermal ablations, heating it up, and the ones that freeze it? This study was just published in the Journal of Urology, and they compared cryoablation, which is the one where you freeze the tumor, and heat-based thermal ablations, which is where you burn the tumor, in a specific subset of small kidney cancers. And that's folks with T1A. And that just means a small localized kidney cancer that's under 4 centimeters. In the study, they actually looked at a subset within that subset. That is where they found a difference between which one was more effective. And they compared the two methods of ablation. There was 1,080 patients in the freezing group and 388 patients in the thermal ablation group. So cryoablation, which is this one over here, you can see them sticking a needle into a tumor there and then it's freezing it. It's a big old ice ball around it there. So in that group, there was an 8.5 cancer-specific mortality after an 8-year follow-up, which means after 8 years, about 8% of those people had passed away from their cancer. But when they compared that to the thermal ablation, which is the one where you heat it up, that had a 12.9 cancer-specific mortality, which meant a higher percentage of patients passed from their cancer when that method was used. But what I think made that study so fascinating was that subset of patients that they studied it in. When they looked at the same results over patients who had tumors that were smaller than 3 centimeters, the effectiveness between the two treatments were very similar. 6.8% cancer-specific mortality in the freezing option and a 6.1 in the thermal ablation option. So not really a big difference in the smaller tumors, which I think is kind of fascinating. Both options of ablations are considered safe and effective treatments, but this study might lean more towards using cryoablation or freezing those tumors specifically for patients who have localized kidney cancer between 3 and 4 centimeters. I personally still think it's even cool that you can even kill these suckers that way. Again, mine wouldn't fit into the study, but I had thermal ablations in my liver.